So for the more advanced practitioners out there, I'd say one of the most direct ways is to maintain, in your meditation or your contemplation, your inquiry, maintain that subtle awareness of the substratum of all that is, meaning the container which nothing escapes. There's not a single experience that could ever appear separate from, apart from that consciousness, that I amness, that root delusion, that root radiance, that root prime radiant. Everything, like there's not a single perception that exists apart from the knower, outside of the knower, without the knower. You've never known anything without the knower, except the absolute. Or nothingness. If you're still in delusion, you'll call it nothingness. Sometimes I call it nothingness as a pointer. But it cannot be nothingness. Nothingness is not a thing. As Ra says, the dissolution into nothingness is the dissolution into unity, for there is no nothingness. The absolute reality, it's freedom. Nothingness is not freedom. Freedom is not nothingness. The absolute source reality is not nothing. Anyway, so you go to that sense of everythingness, that root delusion, which you could also call enlightenment. Most people call it enlightenment. I call it enlightenment often, because it is. And a lot of this Indian scriptures, they'll say, in some of them anyway, they'll say we go from ignorance to knowledge, or we go from unconsciousness to consciousness. We go from illusion, ego, ignorance, into pure knowledge, aka consciousness, or pure beingness, or pure I amness. The isness, the substratum of all that is. And then there's certain scriptures, not that many, but some, that'll make an extra distinction that say both ignorance and knowledge, or enlightenment, are in a sense codependent. They are the same thing. They're made of the same illusion. That in fact enlightenment, as in pure knowledge of self, of being, is itself the first, only, and final delusion. It's the root illusion. So they call everything form-based Maya, or illusion. And they call, some of them, they call this God state of knowledge, of beingness, this subtle, all-pervasive awareness, this radiance, this natural primordial wakefulness, they call that the root illusion, or the great illusion, Mula Maya. Whereas most pointers point to this as enlightenment, as the end of the line. It's not the end of the line. It's the end of the line of one end of the spectrum. We have ignorance, then we have knowledge, but both of that is made of the same stuff. Samsara, nirvana, both made of the same isness, beingness, and perfectly fine. It's gorgeous. You still have that too, beingness. Beingness is still there. Even if you tap into what's beyond beingness, the beingness is still also available, but it changes, its gestalt changes entirely. Instead of being this presence, it's still this presence, but it's like empty. It's devoid of substance. Even though it's still there, it's to play with, if you will, to savor, to enjoy, whatever you want to call that. It's just happening by itself, but it's the root illusion, it's the root experience. There's no experience that you're having. Now you might not be aware of this, but every experience, no matter what it is, even unity, oneness, but also separation, has you there. You as the emness, the beingness, the I amness, that consciousness. Otherwise you couldn't report on the thing. You wouldn't have the experience. And even nothingness, unconscious nothingness, there's still a beingness there. There's still an awareness there. It's just not realized. It's just not practiced enough to be able to be that while you go unconscious. But you can. It's just extremely subtle, and it requires extremely subtle concentration or realization to maintain that. And you can or you cannot, doesn't matter. It's not even crucial for realization of the absolute. It's just kind of a realization you can have, like, oh wow, I'm in deep sleep, but I still am. Oh, I went unconscious. But this beingness, without any form or addition, this essential subtle being is still there. But then, like I said, if you separate from the beingness, and again, everything is beingness. So by separating from the beingness, Not just the sensation of I am in the body, like, oh, the body is over here. When I say I am, I don't mean the feeling of the body sitting in this location over here. I am here and now with the feeling of the body. That's not what I'm pointing to. That is a good initial stage to anchor yourself in, to not be like, to bring your attention to your breath and your body, and to feel I am over here right now. And to just become present to the feeling of your body. But that's not the I am itself. That's just a sensation that the I am is having. The I am itself is all pervasive. It's always there. It's formless. It's always there. Every sensation is the I am. Is the coloring in of the I am. The I am is always there, inseparably from the appearance to sensation. So if you can recognize that more and more, make it all pervasive, or realize that it's already all pervasive, sense that, feel that, then you can vibrate at that threshold of the universe, the threshold of everythingness, the threshold of God, of beingness, of isness. And as you start feeling that threshold, that allness, as you start approaching that bubble of existence, of creation, of the realm of experiencing, the realm of consciousness, the realm of this grand illusion of the cosmic dance, and you stay at that threshold, you become subtler and subtler, and you're like, fuck, I'm still looking at this. There's still something that knows this. It seems like it's knowing itself, but really I, from the absolute, am knowing still this. Therefore, beingness is an appearance too. And if it's an appearance, if it's happening in front of you, it cannot be you. So separate yourself from the beingness, which is the everythingness. And then you realize not that you're nothing, but that you're not everything. You're beyond everything. And what could be more free than that? Because then literally nothing in the entire cosmos, in no dimension, no past, previous, future lifetime, not even a God, not even death can reach you, because you are not everything. Everything is appearing. Death is appearing. Being born is appearing. The end of the universe is appearing. The dissolution of the universe is appearing. The birth of a new universe is appearing. But it's just appearing. It's like the windshield wipers when you're driving. It doesn't have to distract you. It doesn't define you. So separate even the root illusion of I am, of beingness, that subtle, subtle awareness. Separate that out from yourself, and you'll go like this. What the actual fuck is this? Especially first time. I mean, it's always amazing, because it's what is freedom. Freedom is amazing. Actual freedom is amazing. But the first few times you're gonna go like, what the fuck is that? Because you realize your absolute freedom, your total beyondness. And in that realization, you transcend both oneness and duality. Now realize all this is the direct path, it's the enlightenment path. I don't tend to speak so much anymore about the empowerment path, but I still value it at a relative level. I can still see its value, especially for the collective.